Is it fact or is it fiction, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we have kicked off the 2026 testing. Now, it's getting exciting, but the problem is everyone's watching, everyone's guessing, and no one knows what they're seeing. Lap times are appearing on timing screens like it's gospel. Fans are screenshotting them, posting them up online. You've got commentators starting to build the narratives, right? They're trying to anyway at least. And then within hours, careers are pronounced alive or dead. And yet testing has lied more than it's ever told the truth. Because Formula One, lads, testing isn't about speed. It's about understanding the animal you've just created.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front. What a move from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Walsh. Now, let's talk about Aston Martin first of all. Oh dear God. Okay, well, hey lads, if I'm wrong, I'm going to put my hands in the air and I'll say, yep, I'm wrong. At the same time, guys, last week, as we know, they had 3 days of testing now. They only had an hour each day. But this week now is different. They've got the full test days on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, which is great. So at least now they're going to get all their balances in. It's going to really show for them the maximum performance that they can get without revealing their cards. Now that's exactly what I'd be doing here. And I think Mercedes definitely, they've been holding back a little bit. And I think their power unit is pretty goddamn awesome. Now, this is back in we're going back to now where they had the Hamilton and Mercedes era, right? Where the car was just so unbelievable. I think Mercedes are very, very strong when it comes to this. And the reason, now again, lads, by the way, I'll even put out there, we could be wrong on this. I could be wrong on this, okay? Because again, we still don't know if everybody's given it full hog or not. If Mercedes are as good as what we can see here, it's they will perform because they've got rid of the grip. The wheelbase is shorter, the cars are narrower, and because the cars are narrower, you've got less grip. When you got less grip, well, you just have to rely on your lot of engine power. And this year, lads, it's a weird setup. In fact, it might be great for us to watch as spectators, I gotta admit, because what we've got this year is not only faster cars, but we've got faster cars with less grip. And the power unit, the way that's actually operating right now, of what we can see so far anyway, is the more they give it, the more throttle they use, the more the battery goes down. Okay? And so what they're going to have to do, and even Max Verstappen and Hamilton were saying this, and I think Russell as well, that they're going to have to sacrifice corner speed to then set the car up to get onto that, let's say, that long straight in Bahrain, like the main straight. They'll have to sacrifice, let's say, the last corner, slow it down a little bit more, and then have enough power, enough juice to get down that straight. So it could be very interesting. Like, this is the first year that that drivers are going to have to sacrifice corner speed. I mean, guys, do you realize how that's the whole ingredient here, really, getting around the corners as fast as you can. You know, obviously you need to be quick on the straight, but you know what I mean? Like, this is like a rugby player not going in for a tackle. Not going in for a tackle. And then doing it on purpose. It's kind of weird. Maybe that's a bad explanation, I don't know. But this is interesting. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't want to be driving these cars. You as a racing driver, you want to have it fully lit, man. You want to go through and lean on the car and get as much speed out of a car as much as possible, you know? You want to go as fast as you can. So this is going to be it could be a bit of a nightmare. It could be a bit of a nightmare here. And, you know, Aston Martin, okay, let's go back to them. Aston Martin, yes, 4 seconds off the pace. Okay. The thing with them is, you see, with 4 seconds off the pace, clearly there's something wrong. Clearly. Okay, and we'll find out more now this week as well as it unfolds. I definitely think they obviously need to get that car, just keep taking that car around the track, keep going, and they're so far off the pace, it's hard to believe that they're that far off the pace. Do you know what I mean? As in, if you told me it's 1 second off the pace, you'd be like, oh, Jesus, you know? Whereas if it's 4 seconds, they're like, look, come on. They're not stepping on the gas here, obviously. There's no way they're 4 seconds off the pace. That's what you'd be saying. Now, at the same time, you've got Adrian Newey, the greatest of all time, and do you really think Adrian Newey is going to design a car that's going to be 4 seconds off the pace? Absolutely not. In fact, 4 seconds ahead maybe than anybody else, not 4 seconds behind. And at the same time, they do have problems. This does happen. This does happen in racing, where you've just got problems. And this week, if they don't get them sorted this week, and if they really are, let's say, if they really are 4 seconds off the pace, now, we'll just finish off with this with Aston Martin and Adrian Newey. Adrian Newey has said that he's trying some sort of new feature on the car. Obviously, we don't know what it is, but he's trying a new feature that they just don't do in F1. Now, maybe he got the whole thing wrong, and you know that's part of the business too. You've got to try things. You've got to try things. Put it out there. It could go crap. It could go great, and if it doesn't work, he'll go back to the drawing board very, very quick. He won't mess around, and he'll get something going. God only knows what, though. Is it the right height? No. It's just the main balance of the car, and that's what he's got to get sorted. Now, let's talk about Lewis Hamilton. So people are getting very excited for Lewis Hamilton, and he's a half a second off the pace, lads. A half a second. Do you realize how much a half a second is? That is night and day, north versus south, east versus west. It is heart-stopping, heart-crushing amount of lap time, guys. Now, of course, we all don't know exactly what setups everybody's using, or people backing off at the last second. That's what we're going to find out very, very soon. But if Ferrari do have this pace, again, it's kind of like Mercedes. They needed the rules to change because they're struggling with grip. It's like Mercedes. Mercedes and Ferrari have been struggling to get that grip, to get that, what would you call it, the hook. And now the fact that the rules have actually come to them, things are actually a lot easier for them, which is good for them. Now, when you look at half a second for Lewis Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you now how much that is, okay? I hope this is a good comparison. It would be like having two people playing darts. And Lewis Hamilton did 150 laps versus Oscar Piastri did 50 laps to get his quickest lap time. Okay? Now, that's like having two players, let's say it's Piastri and Hamilton, playing darts in a pub. It's like Hamilton had to throw the dart 150 times, and he didn't even hit the bullseye, he hit the bottom of the board at 150 times, whereas Oscar Piastri came in, threw the dart 50 times, and hit the bullseye once. See what I mean? This is a lifetime of time. Now, like we said, we don't know what strategies everybody's using. Hamilton, I mean, guys, Hamilton could have even gone really quick all the way through, and just before he got to the finish line, he backed off the gas. Why? To keep your cards close to your chest, and you're getting all the data anyway once you're going around every single corner, and on the first lap, even when you start the lap, you're getting the data anyway of the drag, the top speed, or wherever you are at a certain point. You're getting all that when you start the lap, so he doesn't have to finish the lap, okay? So he can hide things right there. Just back off the accelerator just before you hit the start and finish line. Now, we look at the F1.com here, lads, and they're saying the winners of Bahrain from last year or last week was Williams. Okay, so what they're saying here The campaign got off to a difficult start when production delays forced them to miss the Barcelona shakedown. They rebounded to get the car in shape to complete 2 filming days in Silverstone and Bahrain, and then piled on the mileage in the first test. Alex and Carlos covered 422 laps. Jesus Christ. A tally which was matched only by McLaren. It's still unclear how the British team are, though, as this week wasn't about chasing performance. This will come next week, providing they keep running reliably. Okay, so how the hell are they winners here? I'm sorry, am I reading this wrong? I don't think I'm not. And then they're saying, loser, Kimi Antonelli. This was a challenging week for him, who will be competing in the second Formula 1 campaign this year, as several reliability issues meant he managed just over 30 laps. Mercifully, the Italian had some better luck on the final day and is able to clock up 61 laps of consistent running and the fastest lap of the test. But he still ended the 3 days with the lowest lap count. While this week has been frustrating, it's much better to have these issues now and we'll be able to work through them rather than happening during race weekends, he said. Guys, I think really Kimi Antonelli is actually the biggest winner here. He did less laps than everybody, less wear and tear, and he finished on the top. Now, again, I'll say it again, we don't know everybody's game plan yet, but this guy was not a loser here. He was a goddamn winner at Bahrain. Now, Ferrari, they managed, what do we have? They completed 420 laps, which puts them third in the mileage rankings, just a couple of short of table toppers Williams and McLaren. Guys, this isn't a peeing contest of who does the most amount of laps is really good. Like, it's the other way around, guys. The less laps they do, the better. Less wear and tear. Makes sense, doesn't it? Now, lads, we'll go into an actual column here on F1.com, and let's just see if they're full of crap or not. All right, even though I love this website, and they're very, very good. Just the hype is a bit. We'll see now in a second. So, like, guys, the entire Bahrain test boils down to one question: are we looking at smoke? Or are we seeing the first real fractures? Because there is a difference between noise and the actual behavior. Lap times can be noise here. Balance is the behavior. You know, fuel loads lie, aerodynamics don't, and that distinction matters more in 26 than any regulations we've ever seen. Now, look, I don't want to be going on about Ted and the Notebook on Formula 1 Sky Sports. Guys, you probably know him as I can't remember his second name, but anyway, Ted, who does the Notebook Formula 1 afterwards, and nice guy, charming guy. I think he's actually really good. He's entertaining, you know, just a nice, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. They did come out with one thing the other day, that they did say that they compared Russell to Charles Leclerc this year. So they came out with a stat. I don't know where they got the stat. The stat was basically that the amount of driving time George Russell completed in Bahrain last week was 28 seconds slower than the driving time Charles Leclerc did the year before. Guys, first of all, you can't compare two different cars on two different test days in 2 different years, and you've got different regulations going. 2025 is a completely different beast than the 2026. So the guy is talking out of his ass. So guys, please, some of these stats, okay, maybe they're interesting to some people, but I fear that these guys are leading people up the wrong area here. So guys, we're going to leave it here today. Nice and short today. Well, can't wait for this week though, because it will, guys, it will start to amp up now. There's no doubt about it. Some people will reveal a lot more this week in the testing. Some people will bring it to 95%, maybe even 97, 98, and hold off just that little bit. This is going to be very interesting, lads. Bahrain hasn't told us who's going to win the championship. This season will punish fantasy. and we could be in for one hell of a whirlwind year, lads. Especially that's the whole thing taken away from today. The cars are not going to be loaded up going into corners now. They're going to be backing off in corners. I can't even get my head around that. I can't. Anyway, guys, we'll talk next week. Can't wait for this year, baby.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front. What a move from fifth all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.